If you're an Amazon seller that's looking for a sourcing tool for your online arbitrage and even your wholesale business, then this new tool may actually be something that you'd like to add into your business. I have been playing around with this tool for quite some time, and I've seen a lot of people in my sphere, in my space, that have been using this particular sourcing tool with good success. And so I'm excited to bring it to you and do a full overview and demo. Obviously, every single business is going to be different, and so you may gravitate towards doing all of your online arbitrage and wholesale sourcing through Keepa and the Keepa Data Product Finder, which I have a ton of videos on that here on this channel. Or maybe you gravitate towards tactical arbitrage or to Arbitrage Hero. But in this particular video, we're going to be talking about Nepeto. And this is a newer tool that's been, in my opinion, making some waves in the marketplace that I'm excited to show you today. Now, if you are interested in checking out Nepeto, I actually have an exclusive link. Gets you 50% off if you go to askjimmysmith.com/Nepeto. This is something that is an affiliate. You don't have to use that if you don't want to, but you do get a pretty big discount for utilizing that link. So let's go ahead and get into how to use Nepeto. Okay, so as you can see here, I have pulled up Nepeto, and now I actually have the master plan available on my account. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into Nepeto. And so I'm going to talk about some of the good things as well as some of the things that I would probably avoid for now. But from a sourcing tool, I think that there's a lot of opportunity here. You can see on here, there's actually a few different things. One, they've got a master plan here, but with hide credits. So actually, if you find 50 mismatches, they will give you a discount and I believe a free account. Yeah, users who report 50 true mismatches out of stock will receive a free subscription. So I love that this is here because it gives us the incentive that if you're using this tool enough and if you find these issues, then they actually will give you a free account as long as they are true mismatches or out of stock items. And so I do like this because it also brings some accountability to them. Obviously, as a company, you don't want to be giving away a bunch of free subscriptions. So they have to have the systems and the tools and resources to make sure that things actually match properly and that they are in stock for you to purchase. So this is a pretty cool little feature in the actual plan itself. Now you can see here there's online arbitrage. There's also distributor products, wholesale products, sell products that are out of stock on Amazon and be the only seller. There's Amazon to Amazon flips. There's Amazon to Walmart products. There's a storefront scanner. There's all kinds of stuff. They even have a Chrome extension and a lot of other things that I may end up covering on this channel at some other point, but I just want to go through the main features here. And they also have a CSV scanner and then a Nepeto master search to find the best products faster. And so ultimately there is a ton of stuff. There's a Chrome extension and a retail arbitrage mobile app as well. All of these things are quickly being built out. This company has been moving quickly and developing new tools and resources to adding it to their suite of software. You can see here, let's just go ahead and go through the online arbitrage retailers. Just as I've been looking at this from a marketplace standpoint with all these other sellers, I'm seeing that OA has some very good uses, and we'll go through some of those, but also I would recommend potentially staying away from some of the wholesale suppliers at this point. Now in the future that could change. I've seen some wholesale suppliers on here that I don't fully know if they are somebody that I would recommend from a distributor standpoint to sell the products online. And so while they may have these options on here from a wholesale standpoint, I personally like to stick with the OA retailers and also using some uploads with a CSV file to find some opportunities for sourcing. So let's go ahead and do some online arbitrage retailers. We'll go ahead and click into here. Now, whenever you do this, it's just going to pull up a bunch of products. You can log into your Amazon account to see if you can sell it, if you can't sell it, or if you need to apply to sell this item. I'm not doing that currently, so I'm going to just go ahead and close that. But I do like that because then you can start seeing quickly as you're going through this tool what you are gated in versus what you're not gated in. And so this is a quick way to go through that. Now, what they've done is they have taken a bunch of different suppliers and they're matching ASINs to a particular supplier to see if this product is good to buy from that supplier and sell it on Amazon. Now you can see a lot of information here. You can see the price, you can see the Amazon price and what it's selling for, the Amazon fees. You can add in additional costs if you'd like to, such as prep cost, fulfilled by merchant, other things like that. I'm just going to leave it all at 0 for now. And you can also see the Amazon offers and then finally the profit and the return on investment. What's great about this is you can actually filter these things. And so if you were doing some OA sourcing and you just wanted to go with the stuff that they have, you could come up here to category. You could filter by category. Maybe you know you're gated in a particular category or you don't care about clothing and shoes, so you want to avoid that. And you just start selecting the ones that you do care about. So let's just go with things like arts and crafts. Let's go with maybe beauty and personal care. Let's try a few other ones. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that just for the purposes of this video. So that way we've got some things that we could potentially purchase more quickly. So let's go ahead and use those. I'm going to click save. It's going to re-update that information based off of the different categories that I'm trying to sell in. Also, we can do price if we want to have a minimum or maximum price. I don't care as much about price, but I do care about the return on investment. And so in this case, I'm going to put a minimum return on investment. I'm just going to do 30%. 30%. You could do 40, 50, 60%, whatever it is that you're looking for. And then the sales rank, if you care about that, you can do that as well. I may do a maximum here. Sales rank number, let's do a max of, we're going to go pretty high just because I want to have more results. Again, we are looking for leads that we can potentially sell in our business right now. So these aren't set filters that you have to use. These are just things that I'm using for example's sake. Amazon offers, we just want to see FBA, and I want to make sure that there's at least 3 sellers on the listing. I just want to be sure that maybe this isn't a private label product, and ultimately we've got some opportunity to compete against some of these other sellers that are FBA. And so if we go in here, you can also do more filters. If you want to see profit, you can also put a minimum profit. Let's just go with $4 of profit as a minimum. You could do 3, you could leave this blank, do whatever you want. You can also exclude brands if you're trying to avoid certain things. So we'll close that, and then we'll start sourcing from here. Now, as we go through this, I'm just looking for things that seem to match and at a store that I would like to purchase from. So Target could be a good option, as well as Amazon to HEB. We've got Walmart here. There's a bunch of different things. You may find some mismatches, and if you do find a mismatch, then you will want to be sure that you let them know about that particular issue in the account that you're seeing. So trying to remember where that right here. It's this little caution sign, report a mismatch or out of stock product. I don't find a ton of them. Actually, I found one, as you saw probably on the front of this page, that I have found one in the time that I've been utilizing Nepeto, which is pretty good if you think about that. Now you can actually come here and let's just go with this HEB one. I can click through to this product. Now there are going to be some times when you click into a retailer and you find out that that is only available in a retail store. You can't do online arbitrage sourcing, and so you have to see if it's available in your local area. Sometimes you can purchase it and have it shipped to you through online arbitrage. That's obviously the point of this, but they do still match items that are at a retail store that you can pick up, and I think that's totally fair. It does add in a little bit more complexity from time to time because you have to double check that, but ultimately if you're just looking for an easy way to get sourcing, this is a potential option. So we can click into each of these. We want to make sure that they do match exactly. So this one is eucalyptus birch, 30 fluid ounces here, Dove Men Plus Care. Look into here, we got 30 ounces eucalyptus birch, $10.37, and you can also utilize some of these coupons here if you want to. And so we've got $4 off your basket when you buy 12, $5 on 3 Dove products, it looks like. So if we got 3 of these, we could actually save some more money, but let's just look at it from a $10.37 standpoint. So we come here, I'm using Zen for this particular profit calculator there, and I'm going to take off this custom cost. And so if we look at just these options, we would be making $6.82 at a 66% return on investment. That does include the inbound shipping to FBA based off its weight. I do always include that in the calculations if I can. Now this is actually a slower seller. We can see that recently it's become a much more higher priced item, and so that is a concern. So we always want to double check any sourcing tool based off of our Keepagraphs to make sure that this is a safe product to buy and sell. It's got enough sales rank, that products have a steady price point that we can make money at, that the seller count isn't just going crazy. And in this case, it seems to be like this does sell pretty well. It's slowed down since the price skyrocketed. It does seem that the sellers have dropped off recently, but the price did get down to $16 recently. If that was maybe back here and the rest of the year was up higher, I would potentially purchase this. But in this particular case, I would most likely avoid this. Our break even for this particular product, according to Zen here, is $19.98. I'll zoom in on that. And so we'd have to make sure that we are trying to buy a product at a price point that we can get at least our money back, at least break even on it. And it seems like the most of the year, it was not most of the year, but for a few months out of the year, 3 to 4 months, we would have been losing money at this price point. Now, if you're comfortable with this and you want to try to buy this and get it sent in quickly, you may make some good profit on it. I'm just trying to take the conservative approach from a sourcing standpoint that I would probably avoid this for now if I'm trying to protect my money in as best a way as possible. But if you're just looking to list a bunch of products and you've got something that can sell well and you're ungated in this, it may be worth sending it in, seeing if maybe you can sell it at like a $24.99 as the price drops down a little bit further, make an okay return on investment, and move on from there. But you can also utilize this. Now you have a source. You have HEB as a source to potentially start finding more products, or maybe you look for other listings that have this product on it and you're not just going to use this one thing and then move on to the next. You could start doing more sourcing that I teach on this channel for Dove Men Plus Care, eucalyptus birch, 30 ounces, and see what else or what other listings pull up that you could potentially list on. The other thing that I recommend doing is utilizing a Replin Dashboard or something to track these leads so that you don't lose them, right? Let's say you figure out, okay, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to purchase this right now because I'm not comfortable with the pricing just yet, but I don't want to lose all of that work. Well, if you utilize Replin Dashboard and you go there and you upload this lead to the system, it will constantly be looking at this product to see if what the buy box price is, what the profitability is, what the number of sellers are. And so I can quickly go through that to show you how that works in just a second. Okay, as you can see here, I just pulled up Replin Dashboard because I wanted to show you how this lead tracker works. Essentially what it is doing, once you put in an ASIN and you put in a buy link for that particular store, it will then track the profitability of this ASIN based on the cost that you uploaded at the time. So if I were to come here, I could actually import individually, or I can import up to 5,000 leads at one time, which actually you didn't see that because I believe my camera was there. So you can import up to 5,000 leads at one time, which is very helpful if you've got leads lists or old Excel forms, etc., Google Sheets. But ultimately, if you come up here and we were to click on lead tracker, I could enter in an ASIN. So let's just get this ASIN because I'm not going to buy it just yet, but I do want to be sure that I'm tracking this. So I'm going to enter in this ASIN, click on add, and I'm going to click save here. Now, whenever that populates, it will pull up. Now we can look for that ASIN right here. Once that does populate, you can see it here. Now we want to enter in our cost, 1037, and I'll also save this link. If I go over to Replin Dashboard, I enter in 1037, and then I will save this buy link here, and we will be good to go. Now we've got this tracking based off profitability, based off the selling price at the buy box currently, which is suppressed right now, and we've got our price of $24.99 in there. Now we could theoretically put that to whatever price we wanted, but this is currently tracking based on the buy box. So if the buy box drops down to $19 again, you're going to see a negative profit and you know not to purchase it. This is a great way just to track these leads. If you're not going to be buying them right now for your inventory, you can track them in this system. This is actually $7 per month if you're a new seller, under $10,000 per month or 10,000 leads. If you are over 10,000 a month or 10,000 leads, then it does go up to other reasonably priced pricing tiers from there. So you can check that out if you want. But here's how we can start to save some leads and some things from Nepeto as we're looking through these. So I'm going to close these out. We can continue doing our sourcing here. Now we could just go down the row and we could just keep clicking through each of these to see if they're good matches. We can double check the profitability, all of that. You can also click here to see estimated monthly sales. You can see a Keepa chart here to see kind of just a basic Keepa chart if you want to stay inside of the system without having to go onto Amazon itself. You can also load this data if you'd like to. It does take just a minute. That's why it gives you the option to load. If it were to just automatically do that, it would just really eat up the space and the storage and how often you can do these things within the system. So it might take just a minute depending on your internet and all that kind of stuff. You can see here though, we've got buy box winner over the last 90 days. Here's the different sellers that got the buy box. You can see the stock history for different sellers, which is amazing to be able to see that. You can also see the offer count tracking over the last 3 months, it appears. So we can actually expand that out if we'd like to also see more or less in this particular case. That's how this works. You can see a lot of other information as well. So I can actually click on this and I can click on the storefront scanner option right here. Now, if I click this string of letters and numbers, that will bring me to the seller's storefront on Amazon. I'm not going to do that because this is a YouTube video and I'm not going to blow somebody up like that. But if I click on storefront scanner, it will actually then scan the storefront for that particular seller. And we can see here that we've got a bunch of different items that seller is currently selling. Now, this is the scary part to me of Nepeto, is that you can start tracking and seeing all of the storefront stuff, and Nepeto will bring back anything that does match in their system. There are obviously limitations. You're not going to get a ton of things because they may buy from a regional store or a store that they don't have a bunch of information on, but this is a good way to do some storefront stalking and some competition analysis is what I like to call it, so that you can get started selling some products that are potentially profitable in the storefront only if there are matches in Nepeto's system. If there isn't a match, then it's something that you won't be able to utilize as much, but ultimately it is something that you can use to find some more opportunities for sourcing. If I go back to Nepeto here, we can see that that was just the online arbitrage retailers. This is just utilizing the retailers that they have available. But there's also distributor products, which I would probably avoid for now, just because the suppliers aren't 100% verified from my perspective. There may be some that are great. So if you want to get in there and use it, go ahead. I stick with the online arbitrage stuff. But you can also look for Amazon out of stock items, which is a great opportunity to be the only seller on a listing. And so I'll probably go through these types of things in the future, on a separate video. But here's a bunch of opportunities for you to be able to source items where you would be the only seller and it appears to be available. You want to do some due diligence on each of these listings to make sure that they are good for you to buy and send in. There's different ways that I recommend reading Keepa charts if you are the only seller on the listing to make sure that it's good to actually test. Something like this, you can kind of see it was selling consistently, but it appears to be a variation because there's still sales rank drops even though there's no seller on that, right? So these types of things that you need to consider. And so these are just some of the ways that you can utilize Nepeto. Now, if I go back to here, you can see there's Amazon to Amazon flips. If you're interested in doing that, you're looking for Amazon opportunities on price drops and selling on Amazon when the price goes back up. You're looking for Amazon to Walmart. If you buy from Amazon, sell on Walmart. It's a great opportunity. If you do Walmart selling, you can actually check out a course that recently came out that I recommend at askjimmysmith.com/Walmart if you're interested in selling on Walmart and how to do that. And then Storefront Scanner. Maybe you have some competitors that you just want to check out, and you can go to scan a storefront. You have to copy their marketplace ID and add that in there to scan their storefront. And then finally, I would say the next big thing is the CSV scanner. So potentially you can utilize this from a Keepa data product finder opportunity. Maybe you've got a bunch of different products in Keepa that you want to analyze to see if there are storefronts for this. Well, you can go and utilize the Keepa data product finder, upload it to this CSV scanner, and we'll pull back any products that it does have matches for in the system. I will give one other caveat here, is that ultimately Nepeto only has a certain amount of storefronts or stores in their system. And so you may do a CSV scanner upload and it misses half of them because maybe all of those are at a store that Nepeto doesn't have just yet. But this is a great way to quickly go through the first amount of items that you get from a CSV file. So you could use this for wholesale. If you wanted to do that, you get a bunch of data on the products. You can use it for online arbitrage and upload a CSV file. There's just a ton of ways to use this. And now this video would be over an hour long if I were to go through every one of these. So I recommend checking out Nepeto. Again, I do have a 50% off code here with Jim Cockrum and Silent Jim. If you go to askjimmysmith.com/Nepeto, get 50% off. It's an exclusive discount for the community, and it's an excellent way to get started testing this out. Now, if you scroll down here, you can see some more ways to utilize the software. You can see the pricing here and some of the other things that you can do with it. But I definitely recommend checking it out if you're interested in trying a new sourcing tool. There's a lot of cool things you can do with it. It's not something that is going to be the easy button for your business, but it does give you the ability to start sourcing quickly. The only other thing that I will say with some of these OA retailers here, let's click into this, is that everyone that uses the tool has access to these suppliers, which is why it's important to save these leads or to use these as leads that then you start finding more products in that particular store or of that particular brand, right? We don't want to just always be purchasing the products right out of a sourcing tool, especially one like this that does the matching for you. It can be a good opportunity to just buy them outright, but ultimately be cautious with that because you never know how many other sellers are seeing it. Now, you can also hide a listing from other people. If I were to click hide from others, you can hide this for a bunch of different weeks if you'd like to. Ultimately, it's up to you. If you want to hide it forever, you can. It's going to cost you $2 a week or $8 per month additional to be able to do that. But it's a pretty cool feature because that way you know that you can buy it, you can send it in, and nobody else with the software will see it. But that is another tool that I wanted to make sure to make available to you and show you how that works. Again, all you have to do is go to askjimmysmith.com/Nepeto and you can get the discount. You can check it out, see if it works for you. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Is this something that you are excited to try out? Have you used Nepeto in the past? What other sourcing tools do you use in your business? I would love to hear that down below. And if you'd like me to review or demo any other software programs, I'm happy to do that. That is what I do a lot of times on this channel, is just demo a bunch of different software for Amazon sellers and other e-commerce sellers. So I hope this video helps you and blesses you, and you have a great rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week.